Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Average Discussion. I'm your host, Chris. Hey, it's been a while. Today is Tuesday, September 2nd, or as we like to call it, the 245th day of this American circus. That's right. Hope everybody's doing great. It's about 90 degrees just outside the Salt Lake City area today. Pretty warm. It's been a little bit. I'm sorry. I've been gone. But hey, for historical relevance, a 24 count of hot dogs at Walmart is $4.97. Yes. So if for whatever reason at the end of the world, all they can find is this podcast and figure out how to make it play somehow, some way, they will know what they can, feed humanity with. It'll only cost them about $4.97 in the state of Utah, at least. That could be changed elsewhere. I tried to get a better national average, but that's all I really got. So, hey, I hope everybody's doing great. Again, it's been a while since I've done a podcast. If you are new, if you are a first ever listener to Average Discussion, first of all, thank you for being with us. I greatly appreciate it. And if you are a returning listener, you've been with us for the long haul now, as we've tried different things, done different things, probably not succeeded at any of those things. Thank you for sticking with us. I greatly appreciate it. But who would have thought? Who would have thought that all it would have took to get me back in the mood to do a podcast episode? Who would have thought that it would have just been a shitty traffic morning? Like who would have thought that? I mean, I don't ever complain about traffic, so not sure if anybody would have ever got that. But nonetheless, here we are. We're back. We are back with some podcasting here on Average Discussion, something I haven't done in a while. And I got to be honest with you guys. I'm sorry. I've been podcasting, just not for this. I started doing a local sports podcast here in the hometown that I live in, covering some high school sports, and it's been a great time. It's been fun, and I don't know, it just takes a lot of time, and honestly, I'm not angry as much anymore. I used to get really worked up, and a large part of that is because, I don't look at the news. I don't have anything to be angry about. There's nobody telling me that I'm supposed to be mad. So, I haven't been as upset about things, don't get as worked up. But today I definitely had a situation work me up, and I was like, man, I gotta tell my people. So, but basically, I've kind of come to the point that, people feel entitled because they feel protected. That's the conclusion I kind of came to. Their entitlement comes from their sense of protection. They feel safe to be assholes. But anyways, I hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend. And by that, I mean all the people who were off because they don't work labor. Yeah, all the labor people still were working. But to all of you who don't work labor, I hope you enjoyed your Labor Day. Hope it was a great day. But again, I do hope that you're doing well. I hope you had a great weekend. Hope everything's going well. So if you are new to the show, we kind of just talk about whatever. All right. It's called the Average Discussion for a reason. It's average topics, average person. I'm just an everyday average type of guy. Okay. But one thing that I usually do is I will hit some news topics, but don't worry. I stay away from the news that's on repeat, that, everywhere that you go, or any other radio channel that you listen to. For the most part, there's obviously some things that I probably cover that you might have heard somewhere else, but I try to stay away from those types of things because, one, I feel like you got 150 different other sources with bigger budgets that probably can tell you what you're supposed to be scared of. Okay. And two, it's fucking depressing. So I try to stay away from some of that stuff, but we do cover that. All right. So, it's been several weeks, since we covered anything, but the news is still filled with, the leadership's showcasing threats, right? It's like a shitty Game of Thrones rewrite in a lot of ways. I mean, it's just men covered in makeup bragging about how big their balls are. So yeah, that's pretty much still all going on. But apparently, President Trump wants to create a national police force ran by the president as chief, at least according to the opinion of a federal judge. Now, he says that all these, this stems from Sorry, I got ahead of my notes there. This stems from the incident that took place in Los Angeles. The federal judge ruling is that the president violated federal law by using military personnel to carry out law enforcement activities. So that led him to make the comment that the president wants to create a national police force. But all I can say is all those voters who only take breaks from Law and Order reruns probably got a hard on for the first time in decades with that idea. I'm sure they were super excited for it, even though it's probably meant to be belittling in some degree. I'm pretty sure they were excited. Meanwhile, Chicago is begging for help because of crime. So, who knows? Who knows what we do here? But it is what it is. Now, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift apparently are getting engaged, or did get engaged. I'm not really sure how that really breaks down when you're rich, but the amount of trees that are about to be killed for that prenup is absolutely insane. I hope he can read. I don't think he can, but hopefully he can. I'm hopeful for him though. I really am, so that I can go back to not caring about either one of them in peace. I don't care about them. I wish them nothing but the best, but I don't care about them. Don't care about this. Uh, yeah, pretty interesting there. But apparently, there's also flesh-eating bacteria cases on the rise. Scientists say it's climate change to blame, guys. It's that pesky climate change. They say that thanks to increased fresh water diluting the salty oceans, we are creating a perfect breeding grounds for the bacteria to thrive. Now, they are mainly talking about, where that fresh water meets the salt water, but they're saying that because of when that happens, it dilutes it to the point that kind of creates an environment for this bacteria to grow. So, just give me some more examples of how we're currently living in hell. Everything wants to kill you. Literally everything wants to kill you. You can't eat anything because they tell you it's going to kill you. You can't drink anything because they tell you it's going to kill you. You can't go outside because the sun will fucking kill you. Everything's trying to kill you. The sins of our fathers, right? We're all just paying the price. I don't know. But nonetheless, if you're going to hit the oceans, be wary of that pesky flesh-eating bacteria. Yeah. So the Pawn Stars boss, Rick Harrison, he apparently called out the insane Vegas prices. I guess they've got a hike in prices out there. I guess the best he could offer was Reno. So that's what we got going. Bill Belichick made his UNC college coaching debut last night. He's apparently recruiting a player by the name of Brady Tom this week because it did not go well for them. It did not go well at all. But in all seriousness, they would lose this one 48-14, by the way. TCU beat down the Tar Heels 48-14. But in all seriousness, though, TCU came in as the veteran team, really, playing against a building UNC team. The commentators kept talking about how there's 70 new players on this team. So I don't know what anybody really expected. TCU's no scrubs, but it didn't pan out too well for Bill Belichick in an NCAA coaching career. Jordan Dwyer for the Horned Frogs, he was everywhere for TCU. He had 9 receptions, 136 yards, and a touchdown. And the Tar Heels defense couldn't tackle a paper bag out there last night. So the running backs had a ton of big plays. They were just all over the place. So not a good look for Coach Belichick as he makes his way to the college platform. Now, golf course ponds were refilled with the tears of Alabama fans this weekend as they would lose to unranked Florida State 31-17. And all I got to say to that is, ha! Yeah. Number 10, Miami beats number 6, Notre Dame 27-24. That's probably one of the closer games of the weekend. And number 3, Ohio State ruins the number 1 Texas hopes and dreams, winning 14-7. Not a bad showing for them, but the hype around that young quarterback just clearly wasn't there in that game. So we'll see what they do. And then of course Michigan State takes down Western Michigan 23-6. So that's kind of your news recap. Some random stuff that I just kind of came up with today. But let's get into the reason we're all here. Okay, and that's fucking traffic. All right, I don't know. It's I long for the past today. And what I mean by that is because I would have been justified to behead the driver of that Hyundai Ioniq this morning. I would have been justified based off the way he was acting. I feel very confident in that. So I long for the days of the past because that's all I wanted to do this morning. That guy pissed me off so bad. You know, if it's not bad enough that every major road is jam packed and under construction at the same time, I have to tolerate actions conducted by people who wouldn't survive a world without technology. You know what I mean? It just rubs me the wrong way. It just drives me crazy. So let me give you a little backstory here. So I leave for work this morning, okay, and I hit the road and we're merging onto the Interstate 80. And I get up there. It's kind of going well. We get choked down into single lane because they're doing construction further up the road. And so we're all there. And I get behind this Hyundai. Get behind this guy. And he's going a little slow. It's 65 through the construction area, and he's probably doing about 60. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Like, it's tight, it's cramped. I'm not really that worried about it at this point. Just go slower, and as soon as the opportunity presents itself, I'll go around him. Or maybe he'll move, right? So we get up to that point, and I get over to go around him. Now, mind you, again, I wasn't concerned about it, but the guy kept slowing down. So there wasn't a whole lot I could do. I'd get a little bit closer than he probably, well, clearly appreciated, right? So I get over in the right lane to go around him. What does this guy do? He fucking speeds up. Now, he's in an electric car. The acceleration on those things is pretty quick. So, of course, he pulls away for a second. So I'm like, okay, well, we're going now. So I hit the gas and get behind him. Because now I have to pass the vehicles in the right lane because he wouldn't let me pass him and get back in the left lane. So now I'm stuck behind him again because he wanted to speed up once I got to the right lane. So we get up to this traffic. We're getting to the part where it's probably going to clear out. And he can either move and let me go by because he clearly doesn't want to consistently go fast, or he can just get up there enough and I can get around him again and we can start this process all over. The fucking guy slams on his brakes. Like, slams on them. He doesn't just tap them, guys. He like fucking slammed on them. So now I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's problem, right? So we get up past traffic that was in the right lane. I again move over to the right lane because I just want to go by the guy. I'm just trying to go to my shitty fucking job in peace. Same fucking thing happens. Guy fucking floors it. Doesn't want to let me pass him. So now I'm like, okay, you're just being an asshole. So now I'm pissed, right? So I get back over with him. And this time I am riding his ass and I'm being very aggressive and making sure my headlights are shining through his driver's side mirror. Right? Because you're just being a dick now, right? The fucking guy slams on his brakes again, locks him up, right? So we play this cat and mouse fucking game for, I don't know, half a mile to a mile, maybe even a mile and a half. I don't really know because all I could see was red, okay? But finally gets to the point where I can go around him. I get over into the right lane. I pull up next to him because there's plenty of time. I could have slingshotted past it, but now I got to fucking prove a point, right? So I roll the window down and I'm flipping him off. I'm cussing him out. I'm like, what's your problem, man? Right? Doing all this. The guy locks his brakes up again. Now he's in the left lane. I'm in the right lane. He just slams on the brakes. Luckily, nobody was behind him because he just locked him up. And we're going like 85 miles an hour at this point. Absolutely fucking crazy. This nut job. Absolutely crazy. So I feel confident. I just drove on, by the way. I was like, this guy's out of his fucking mind. Like, he clearly thinks that, like, you know, I was driving too close at some point, which perhaps I was, but maybe you shouldn't have slowed down to 10 under the speed limit. And I wouldn't have got that goddamn close. But here we are. And, but it wasn't just me because when I looked in the rearview mirror, I saw him doing the same thing to the line of cars. So it clearly wasn't just me. And yeah, I don't know. But so I feel confident that this man only had the guts and the cojones to do what he did because he feels protected. And that allows him to be entitled. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing I can think of because I don't know what else it would be. Right? Because I know the guy's not going to, if we're standing on the street, because he was an older guy, I think, at least older than me, he had a fucking handicap placard. That's probably how he got handicapped. Fucking idiot. But I know he's not going to be all ballsy in public. You know what I mean? So why does he think he can just do that there? Well, it's because there's laws and shit, right? And it's just too easy to call the cops and report somebody. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what was in the air today, but people drove like shit, right? This is why you don't drink tap water, basically. You'll end up like these fucking people. So be careful with that tap water. But seriously, it's too easy to call the cops and give only one side of the story, right? So this guy could have easily called the cops, said like, "Oh, there's this guy in a blue Charger driving like an asshole," right? And they're gonna come find me because he probably has my fucking license plate because he's a little bitch, right? And they'll come find me, and then I'll have to talk to him and be like, "No, really, he was the one being an asshole," right? It's just too easy to do that shit these days. And I'm well versed enough, with the law that I know the absence of proof would probably bear well in my favor, but just the thought process, the thought of having to deal with that is absolutely insane, right? And this guy only has this comfort because we live in a world that won't allow me to just beat the shit out of him for being a piece of shit. Right? I'm in the wrong if I do that. Even though he's being a cocksucker for no reason, I'm in the wrong, right? So, it's just weird. But the security that we give people emboldens the weak. That's what I believe. The security that we have emboldens the weak. It makes them think that they're bigger and badder than they really fucking are. Maybe even myself to some extent. I'll be honest with you there, right? I talk a lot of shit, but maybe I get my ass whooped, right? I mean, I do like my odds in a lot of situations, but that's a reality, right? That's a reality. So I don't know. But to add insult to injury, it was a fucking electric vehicle, the damn EV, which is really what I thought he was doing, right? Because, they accelerate quicker, they get instantaneous power, right? So it's like he's not going to be able to go as far as I can go, but he's got that instantaneous, you know, acceleration, right? And so I thought that's all he was trying to do because it was like, oh, you got a charger. I'm a right. That's what I thought he was doing initially, but then I realized he's just a fucking prick. Just a prick. I've been scouting the county Facebook page all day, hoping that he would say something. He didn't. Lame ass. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it was a fucking EV, man. And people. The crazy thing about driving these days, at least out here in the state of Utah, I just got back from Connecticut last week, and I got to tell you, we didn't have these problems. We didn't have these problems. So don't get me wrong. You had other problems, like every road is a highway that just magically appears in the middle of a small town. Right? That's different. That's new. You had, a lot of left exits off the left side of the highway. That was new to me. Everything's usually on the right. So they had their own problems, but we didn't have these types of problems. Everybody just drove fast. The cops left their lights on to let you know that they were there. They weren't hiding like some cowards trying to extort you. They let you know. So if you got in trouble, you really were being an idiot. It's kind of how I got from it, because I actually thought I was getting pulled over out there. This car got behind us. We were in our rental car, actually headed back to the airport, and the red and blue is on. So I'm like, ah, shit, right? And I was speeding, so I was like, ah, shit. So I get over. Takes him a second, but then he gets over. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I'm getting pulled over. So I go to pull over again. Well, the guy exits, he gets off, but his lights were on the whole time. And I was super confused, super confused. So when we stopped at the gas station before we went to the airport, right? I got some gum and stuff, and I was like, I asked the clerk, the young lady working there, and I was like, "Hey, is that normal? Do they just drive around with their their lights on?" I was like, it wasn't flashing or anything, but it was just solid. And they're like, "Oh yeah, they're called courtesy lights." Well, fuck, how would that be? I was like, "So how do you know you're in trouble? Is it when they flash? Is that how you know you're in trouble?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, fuck. Well, isn't that something? Isn't that interesting? Doesn't sound like they're paying their city employees with speeding traffic or traffic violations. Crazy world, crazy world. But yeah, but lately with the way people drive though, it's like they feel like they're doing some kind of civil fucking service. Like they'll get over, but they'll only go so fast. They get bold enough to jump lanes, right? Across the solid lines and stuff like that to prove a point. Like, oh, you've been driving slow, so I'm going to go around you. I'm going to go all the way to the left lane. But then they don't ever go fast enough there. They won't drive faster. And I know that because I catch up to them. And then they get their panties all in a wad because now they're like, oh, why are you coming up on me? Right? It's just stupid. It's fucking stupid. I guess the threshold for freedom stops at 5 over. I guess I don't know, but and they call it reckless because they can't fathom a world where you can chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. You know what I mean? Then get all excited when someone gets pulled over, like some pocket holding punk who wants to wash their mouth out with the semen of their protectors. Fucking can't stand these people, man. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like they literally just, I'm speeding. Okay, yes, you are, but you're not speeding as bad as me. So would you please fucking move? You know what I mean? Like, I will pass you in plenty of time for you to get back over to pass this semi that's a quarter mile up the road. Like, just fucking get out of the way. Stop making me look like the jackass because I know I got to weave in and out of traffic because you fucking cocksuckers are stuck going 5 miles an hour over. It's crazy. Like, 15 over is not even that bad of a ticket. Like, I was actually shocked at how cheap it was. But crazy. I don't know. But yeah, freedom must stop at 5 over. That's what I've determined. They got big balls till they hit 6 over. And then all of a sudden, they better stay in line. Better toe the line, little boy. Better toe the line. Absolutely fucking crazy. But that's my rant, guys. That's what I wanted to talk about. Traffic. Yeah. Who would have knew, right? Who the fuck would have thought? The news is pretty damn boring, though. I'll tell you that much right now. It's all just the same shit. I did see some cool conspiracy that Trump's apparently dead. That was kind of funny. Yeah. Somebody was what was the thing that I saw? Well, now I can't remember. But basically the gist of it was that they're oh, it was a flag. That's what it was. I guess some flag pole was posted at half mast. And I guess this comes on the coattails of some people thinking that Trump died or something like that. So there's these sightings. He's like Tupac right now. They're like, oh, Trump's headed to the golf course. Bang! Got it. He's alive down there in Vegas with Elvis and Tupac. Right, or it's Cuba, huh? Tupac's in Cuba. My bad. My bad. Sorry, got my rich dead people mixed up. But yeah, saw that. That was pretty interesting. Don't think I believe it, if I'm being fair. Don't think I believe it. And here's the crazy thing. I thought if something comes out talking about him being a reptilian all of a sudden, I don't know, man. I might have to change up my thought process on things because I thought, that was what I don't like to label people like this, but we'll just label it, right? Like conservative or rightish leaning people thought about people in power who were like liberal and left leaning, right? I thought that was the conspiracy for all those people. Like they're so evil because they're reptiles, right? But if that comes out with President Trump here, I might have to abandon it because I was starting to believe it a little bit. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelsey, definitely reptiles, definitely, right? Reptilians. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can switch sides like that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to talk about the big one. We all know about the big one. All I'll say to that is, yeah, I don't believe in your faith, but I do believe in your right to practice it, and it's unfortunate what happened, regardless of who or what it was. That's irrelevant in my opinion, but I guess to the powers that be, it means quite a bit. So crazy, but again, it's just the way that they teach you what to be scared of. You know, like I said, I haven't been upset in a long time, really. Like not like I have in the past on these podcasts where I'm ranting about shit. I've really been upset, and it's largely in part due to the fact I don't pay attention to the news. And guess what? Nothing in my life has changed. Nothing. So, I mean, I guess that's not entirely true. Things in my life have changed, but nothing that those things would influence. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. And it's crazy that, for the first time, literally, probably since the last time I did a podcast, it's been since the last time I looked at the news like this. I look at sports news all the time. You know, people like to share the meme of, give them bread in circuses and they'll never revolt because they're so well educated and paying attention to the news that they know everything is going to happen before it even happens. But they can't. They're helpless to stop it, just like anybody else, apparently. But give them bread circuses and they'll never revolt, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I still would. See, the thing is, I'll be open about it. I'm not going to do it by myself. My life's pretty dang good. Why would I throw all that away for myself? I need a good cause, a good reason, good people that I trust, you know. But yeah, bread and circuses. I'm all about it. I love sports. I love it. So crazy, absolutely crazy. Like I said, I don't think I've looked at the news since the last time I did a podcast, and I'm a much better person because of it. But the amount of makeup that they have to wear to do these interviews and these photo shoots, like, I don't know. Don't be talking about how tough you are when you got all that I don't even know what they call it, but facial stuff on. All that dried semen dust. I don't know. Elephant semen. I'm sure is what it is. Dried elephant semen dust. Probably cleans out the pores really well. It's crazy. It's crazy. But that will do it, you guys. That'll do it. Again, I do apologize for the absence. Because I do like doing this. I do like just talking shit. That's one thing I can't do on the other podcast that I do, the sports one, because it's all high school, high school athletes. And that's the last thing I need is these parents being like, you said my son sucks, because he does. Damn it, he does. But I can't say that, I shouldn't say that either, because I'm trying to encourage them to be the best that they can and things like that. But yeah, no, you can't really talk shit, And I've got plenty to talk shit about, especially with the community, but I keep that a lot to myself. Except for on here, you fine folks get to hear it. So if any of them stumble across this, maybe we'll be fighting for real. Hopefully they drive a Hyundai EV so I can find out. I remember the license plate, handicap placard and all. AK47K, and I think the last one was an S. It might have been a 5. Yep, yep, I got you, you fuck. This town ain't that big. I'll find you eventually. But I don't know. I'm sure I'll be over it here in a few hours, probably as soon as I finish recording this. But yeah, it really pissed me off. It really pissed me off. So do yourselves a favor, guys. Stay safe. Don't let these people think that they have the right to just drive like assholes because they feel like they're breaking the rules enough that you shouldn't be bothering them. Fuck them. Get out of the way. How hard is that? Just get out of the fucking way. It's not that hard. It's really not. Freedom stops at 5 over. Remember that. So, hey guys, thank you for listening. Again, if you are a first-time listener, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. You can find us on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twatter. I'm probably more responsive on Instagram and Facebook, to be honest, but nonetheless, feel free to reach out to me. The show can be found on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, and probably some other places. And then obviously on YouTube, we're going to be more proactive with the YouTube account. So you can definitely find it on there as well. But I do hope that you enjoyed it. Feedback is always welcomed. Insults, not so much. But as long as they're constructive insults, I guess. I'll take it that way. Because here's the truth of it, folks. We're all ignorant in our own right. Just not everybody can admit that. So I'm probably ignorant about a few things. And that's okay, because you're probably ignorant about a few things. And that's okay too. So hope everybody has a great day. Please stay safe, especially if you're driving on these shitty fucking roads. Please take care of yourselves. Please take care of each other. And until next time, I'm out. That was the wrong dang outro. Thank you for listening. Please follow the show. X, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram. All things should be under average discussion. Thank you for listening. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please take care of yourself.